A lot of big companies are starting to get into XRP. Where will the next 10 or $100 billion come from? Let's get right to it. We also have new information from Paul Barron, who talks about how the CEO of Robinhood says that tokenization will destroy the whole banking system. And what does that mean for people who own XRP? In this video, I also talk about a lot of other things that are connected to XRP. Let's begin here. Let me show you this first. In the year 2025, public companies own about 1 million Bitcoin, which is worth $115 billion. The government holds more than 3 million ETH, which is about $14 billion. In this case, you can see that there is interest worth hundreds of billions of dollars, and you think that XRP mixed with Solana and a few other tokens will be the next one that companies pay attention to. I can show you what's going right now with this example. Vivo Power, which is traded on the stock market, raised $19 million to build an XRP treasury plan. How does that look? So they just recently raised $19 million through a selling of shares in order to build up the XRP treasury and pay off their debts. The most recent raise builds on a previous Regulation S round in which well-known investors like Prince also took part. I don't know what his full name is, and it's on the screen because I don't want to mess it up. An earlier promise brought the total amount of treasury capital that was stated to be more than $121 million. Vivo Power has promised through a number of public statements and partnerships, such as with Doppler Finance and Flare, to test a 30 million XRP deployment with a plan to possibly increase the size to $200 million. This is one business. It's clear that billions of dollars are at stake. The world's top 500 or 1,000 companies are all going to be looking at some kind of crypto plan, even if it's just putting a few percent into Bitcoin or Ethereum. The same goes for companies that want to get into XRP, Solana, or other assets like altcoins. How much more? So Vivo Power could get up to $200 million, which is on top of the equity partnership agreements that were already made. The company says they strongly expect phased methods. There will likely be at least 200 million more rounds. There are also other businesses that want to do the same kind of trade with you. SBI Holdings used XRP as an internal asset for a growing company's treasury in the past. Its public documents show that it does hold XRP as part of its cryptocurrency portfolio. We Are Hyperscale Data Incorporated released information about its plan to buy XRP worth $10 million. Nature's Miracle stated that it will put $20 million into XRP and other names that are often mentioned as having large XRP reserves for treasury or liquidity. Trident Digital Tech and Webis International are two functions. This service will keep you up to date. Paul Barron says that Vlad Tinov, the CEO, just told everyone a big secret. The whole banking system is going to be eaten by tokenization. Not bother or change, just eat. This is what markets listen to when a big CEO of a fintech company says it. There will not be a switch from traditional banking to on-chain assets anytime soon. It's already here. Within a few years, tokens could be used for stocks, bonds, real estate, and commodities. Robinhood has already started trading tokenized stocks in Europe, letting people trade US stocks 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They plan to next expand into trading tokenized real estate. For buyers outside of the US, the CEO says that tokenized stocks will become the norm. In the same way that stablecoin connects digital assets to dollars, he thinks that clear regulations will speed up uptake of American stocks. Europe is currently ahead of the US when it comes to setting up standards for digital assets. This is mostly because Europe already has rules in place through the MECA. At the moment, the US is behind, but they are getting ready to apply all of this in the US once the rules are made official. Creating digital tokens that can be stored and sold on blockchains from real-world assets like stocks, bonds, and real estate is called tokenization. So there will be a real asset and a digital twin. The real asset could be a piece of paper that your bank or guardian holds. You will likely only have the asset on-chain in the end, but for now, you will have these two different assets. When you can put this value to the market and trade it on the blockchain, this is where XRP, XLM, or any of the other altcoins that support this infrastructure could become very valuable very quickly. Tokenization pilots are being expanded by major organizations and regulators around the world as the sector grows at an exponential rate. The market for tokenized assets is thought to be worth about $24 billion right now. In order to give you an idea of how big this market is, the world bond market is about $140 trillion. In the US, the stock market is worth between $50 $160 trillion. I think it's around $150 trillion around the world. The number 4, or $500 trillion, is for real estate. That's $400 trillion in debt markets. There will be value added to the chain that is quadrillions of dollars, and now we're only at $24 billion, which is the total amount. From this, you can see that we're still not even at 0.25%. We haven't even reached that point yet. That's what it will look like in 5 to 10 years, right? When you own one of these crypto assets, you own a piece of the financial system because you own the thing that a lot of this value will be traded on or hold its value. That chance has never come up before. That's why I make 3 movies every day. In order to spread the word about this exciting chance called cryptocurrency, I'm trying to teach as many people as I can. Okay, let's keep going. Realworldasset.xyz is a great place to keep track of how many real-world assets are being turned into tokens on the XRP system or other chains. They don't pay me. This is only used by me because it's free and useful. If you want, you can sign in and make any account you want. Vert Capital, on the other hand, is worth $136 million, or 90 million RLUSD. Don't forget that Ethereum is where 90% of RLUSD lives. Then there's ARKX and a few others. Chad Seingraber says, see me to trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because we'll all be on the crypto digital rails. The whole stock market on a chain. To give you more information about what Chad is talking about, CME Group is going to start trading cryptocurrency futures and options, including XRP, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in early 2026. This is a big step forward. It fits with the framework of institutional finance and the fact that digital assets are always available. The change, along with CME's addition of options and XRP and micro XRP futures, makes XRP much more legitimate, easy to access, and useful for both businesses and regular people. Don't forget that XRP reached $1 billion in 3 months, making it the fastest growing digital currency on the CME platform. CME wants to let people trade its crypto products and options 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, starting in early 2026. Standard and mini XRP futures have been added by CME. Trading will happen on CME's regulated platform, which has clear prices and lots of buyers and sellers. This will increase institutional trust in XRP as a tradable product. All of the perks are listed here. We've already talked about this. I'm only going to read a few of these. Liquidity and price discovery, institutional adoption, market integration, and on-chain expansion, and empowering holders through derivatives by letting them trade options and futures on XRP. Holders can use these to hedge their positions, take advantage of volatility, and make more money through advanced trading and risk management techniques. Big banks are very interested in this, even though you might not be doing it. Usually you need a good futures market before you can have a good spot market, and we're seeing that happen right in front of our eyes.